Sarah, what have you done?
Kerrigan, the die is cast. This is the last day. Your swarm darkens the sky of any planet.
Forget Minsk. Forget all of it.
When we are done here, I will return to my people and accept their judgment.
Command, we've found Kerrigan. She's holed up in a Zerg base.
I made my peace long ago.
Consider it done. For hire. Indeed.
God, those ads. Alright, let me see everyone who's available right now. This is the FSL. I'm Hyper Turtle. We are going to be doing a couple of matches a couple days early. And then we're going to be sitting down and taking a look at some of the proposed balance changes. Let's see, Hurtin' Time's already available. I'm gonna go ahead and bring him in. Evening, Hurtin' Time. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yep. So I'm going to get Lighthood in here. Here, let's take a quick look at these maps. So we have Dragon Scales for Game 1, Dresden for Game 2, and possibly Royal Blood as Decider. This is a match that was scheduled for Friday, but we're doing a little early just for convenience sake.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I can't play on Friday.
Alright. What else we got? Yeah, we'll just put that together. And here, let me message something to my wife. In the kitchen. Alright. So this is Code S. We've been making some adjustments. Everything seems to be evening out as far as the lineup goes. Not sure. Oh, here we go. And good evening, Lighthood. Just a little after midnight over there, right? Can you hear me?
Oh, is he in Europe?
Hurtin' Time, where are you playing from?
I'm playing from East Coast, US right now.
Yeah, that's what I
until
thought.
September 1st, yeah.
So there we go. Alright, I was just taking a look at the map selections, Dragon Scales and Gresven, and possibly Royal Blood. Have the two of you gotten a chance to look at any of the patch proposals or new maps that they're looking at?
Yeah, I was looking at that. Looks neat. So.
Yeah, it's something I'd like to actually talk about a little bit after we're all done with the carnage. Oh. So yeah, I know everyone's on a schedule, so I'm gonna try to get you guys into game right away. Here, go ahead and get into StarCraft 2 and make sure you're in our channel. While you're doing that, anything interesting to say to each other?
I don't have anything. What race is this Lighthood play?
Lighthood, you're Terran,
I'm
right?
Terran.
Yep.
So TVT?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
been my Achilles heel recently.
Yeah, it's also pretty bold if you did your map vetoes and picks before knowing which matchup it was. I'm impressed.
Yeah, well, I don't know any better. I just play.
Yeah, I think
I don't
that's what
have
things
I don't
are...
have map strategies or anything like that. You know?
Yeah, I think that's what things are going to look like for me on Friday. I'm going to be doing one match then. Alright, here we go. Join. But yeah, I'm trying to invite you to party, but I don't see either of you in game yet.
I'm in game.
Oh yeah? Okay. There we go.
I'm in the
Time.
FSL channel too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Invite.
There it is.
And Lighthood, are you in?
I don't think he's in unless he's a barcode.
Let's see. Lighthood, are you in StarCraft 2 yet? Keep in mind we're on the US server. Here, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Okay, you can hear us. Are you the barcode?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yes.
Okay, fine. My microphone was off. I don't know for the reason.
Okay. But are you in the StarCraft 2 client right now?
Not yet. Give me
Oh,
like
okay.
2 minutes.
Got it.
I was talking, and I thought you heard me, but you did not.
Oh man, did we miss any gems?
Actually, I was saying that I reinstalled my Windows.
Hmm.
And switching between StarCraft servers need to download an update. I didn't know.
Yeah, they just put out a patch here. Let me wanted to share with everyone who hasn't gone in here so far. It was mostly a bunch of hot fixes, but they did.
It's like Colossus range and those stuff, I think.
That stuff. A lot of visual issues or some minor like control and targeting stuff. Mostly just some things with it not determining the right size
Graphics
of something.
everything.
Rocks, shield, not playing the shield animations here.
Only visual thing.
Well, there was one nice little gem, and that's that they finally added the Oliveira portrait from his big IEM championship win about 6 months ago, I guess.
February. Yep,
This is
February.
from courtesy Nicholas Chessois, who does pretty much all of these stylized player portraits. I think he'd even previously done one back when Oliveira was time. Yeah, here we go.
Okay.
So yeah, all
nice.
of these are Nicholas Chessois. You know, Blizzard, I don't think they really have anyone internal doing any kind of content, but every once in a while, ESL will pay Nicholas to at least do some nice portraits for the big world champions.
I think that's cool.
It is, and I appreciate, freelance artists like him has been able to keep it going too.
Happy to hear that some people still like StarCraft 2.
Oh, there's
And
plenty of
things to
people creating content, and plenty of people complaining about the proposed patch changes, so... the other big news is, not just that there are some proposed balance changes that have been shared now, but also that Alex007, the guy who heads up the StarCraft 2 stuff in ESL Pro Tour,
Okay.
I guess he's actually allowed to talk about it outside of Blizzard, so we don't just have to wait for Community Manager to just post these patch notes and do some sort
to
of
hear,
public
actually.
test server. So it's promising that it's promising possibility we might actually get a little bit more communication finally. All right.
Okay.
Dragon scales. So, enough news.
It's the first map.
Hmm?
Okay, let's go.
Yep.
It's Dragon Scale for the first map.
Yes, it is.
Okay, let's go. I want to check my ping first.
And I'm gonna check.
You check your ping
Yep,
before the game
it's
starts.
gonna be high. 125 is good. Okay.
Well, knowing what you're gonna deal with, nothing wrong with that.
It's better than
Let's see
nothing.
here. Yes, our chatbot, Matheson, is all over the place. Yes, the Oliveira portrait is free. All you have to do is log in, and it'll add that. Although,
cool.
the bad news is Oliveira is actually misspelled in the in the title of the patch.
Oh no.
So, you know, we'll see
I'll
if they
use
get
it.
that fixed up. Alright, so
I used
we
it
are
right
almost
away.
ready to go. I'm going to, here, move myself out of here.
Yep.
And then oh, I see someone's already taken that portrait. Cool. Alright, I'm going to move both of you to separate
Already
chats, and we are going to see some good old TV2 action.
Let's go.
Alright,
Good luck.
Jeff.
Good luck. Have fun.
Everybody's ready. One other adjustment for me. Get myself off the camera. Okay, TVT. Be slow and steady with a lot of positional play. Or we might see someone just absolutely getting blown to pieces fairly early. This has been interesting. There's been a lot more Reaper play that people have been focusing on lately in all the matchups, but TVT is still very much some... Oh! Hotkey profile. Okay, well... that is probably courtesy of the new patch. I will deal with that later. In the lower left, we have the Blue Terran. His name is...
Lighthood.
And in the upper right, we have his opponent, the Red Terran. He goes by...
Time.
Alright. Got our supply depots down at the top of the ramp. I'd say Lighthood heading out a little bit early. He might... well... they both started their initial barracks, but either Lighthood has something sneaky in mind, or he really wants to make sure that his opponent doesn't have something sneaky. Neither of them willing to wait until the Reapers are available. Yeah, looks like it's just for scouting purposes. Get a better look at these two. Uh-oh. He brought his friend. Oh, okay. Yeah, next game. That's fine. Yeah, we don't want Matheson to feel left out now, do we? So Lighthood going for the immediate expansion. Playing around with the idea of maybe blocking his opponent, hurting time from getting in there. Walling off, and assuming a add-on is going to be going down shortly. Basically, Lighthood focusing on economy, hurting time focusing on tech. And we got a Reaper here ready to ambush any other Reaper who decides to get into his territory. Injured SCV making his way home, no problem there. And nope, this Reaper wants to see if there's an expansion yet, which there isn't. Nice little hit on the supply depot. And the grenade as he waves goodbye. Factory now going down, just starting for Light Hood, almost done for Hurtin' Time. We're going to see what they have in mind for their initial moves here. Looks like we got 2 Reapers on both sides, once again. Kind of fits the meta right now. It seems the players are concerned about including Cy Matheson, though it's unclear how it relates to the game. Yeah. We're being very rude to our chat boss. Made to suffer. Ooh. 3 Reapers chase the 2 Reapers away. Here we go. 3 Reapers and a Cyclone. On their way to see what they can accomplish. Obviously, it's a little bit too late to cancel the expansion, but they can still cause some carnage. Little high ground scan. Yep. Reapers managed to take down a couple of Marines. So far, not taking any damage. They can't heal. SCVs are coming in for the surround. They're all trying to pick on the siege tank. I think they're gonna... Nope! The siege tank survives. That is a really good win for Light Hood. I was probably gonna want to repair it though. Oh, and this got a mule that got forgotten too. But in the end, some scouting accomplished. But I think Light Hood ended up the better for that. Got a Raven coming out on behalf of Hurtin' Time. More Marines. There's that repair I was thinking about. Right now, Light Hood has quite an advantage when it comes to the workers. Marines get themselves hurt a bit. Oh, 1 Reaper goes down. Other one will live to fight another day and to heal in between. I think Light Hood might be getting ready for some heavier pressure. Medevac's coming up on Light Hood as well, so I think he knows he's in an advantageous spot, and I think he's going to make the most of it. That Raven probably in to take a peek around and possibly just drop a turret right in the mineral line. But it's going to be on the wrong side of the map if it wants to disable anything. Alright, Light Hood's got to turn his attention back here. Manages to take out 2 SCVs, 3 SCVs, not bad for something that only cost energy. And the Raven heads back home. Not sure. Yeah, I think that I think that SCV was brought along by accident. Medevac takes a look around, chased off by some ooh, okay, some good tank shots. Vikings managing to do some very good damage to the Medevacs. Medevacs load up, drop everything off on the high ground, spreading them out. Very well done. Tank goes down, does not get a chance to siege, it goes down. Got a nice defensive tank right there. And Hurtin' Time defends with excellence. Because Terran. Light Hood got his expansion up well before Hurtin' Time did. Okay. Are these Vikings planning to land? Hurtin' Time's been doing pretty well. I mean, he got some good harass going and defended everything, but at the same time, he's got a tendency to have a lot of army on the side of the map that Light Hood is not interested in attacking. Then again, I mean, look at, he's got siege tanks in all the right places. Ooh. Okay, that I don't think I've ever seen. I don't think I have ever seen Vikings, one Viking attack a command center while the other one keeps it from landing. We are seeing Hurtin' Time be very resourceful. Alright. Drives the Vikings off, but Oh, and here we go, here we go. We got a drop going down, surrounding the tank, trying to take it out, but the units are coming out one by one, so they're pretty much dying shortly after getting hit. That tank is about half health. We have the landed Vikings again, which are not faring very well against this tank. Oh, they turn their attacks on it, and that anti-mech damage is very beneficial. At this point, Hurtin' Time is now ahead in the worker supply, as well as supply in general. He's been making very good use of these air units, and is now going back on the offensive. And I think one of the really big differences here is Hurtin' Time has been keeping siege tanks back at his base, whereas Lighthood's been taking his tanks with him. They're not there to clean up with the rest. Alright, another tank goes down. We are we are seeing a lot of death. And meantime, yeah, Lighthood managed to definitely kill some workers. Combat shields on the way for Hurtin' Time. Already got all that research done on the side of Lighthood. Tanks are deciding to back away. Oh, and there we go. Yet again with that landing Viking harassment. Somewhere... somewhere in the distance, Dustin Browder is smiling at this. Look at this. Attack ground stuff, attack air stuff. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And, I mean, some of the initial harassment might not have been that successful. But Hurtin' Time just has not given Lighthood a break. Here they come. Oh man, SCVs versus Vikings. Probably not a good match. The SCVs do count as both mechanical and bio, so that is ugly. All this time, Lighthood is right at the gate, so he might be able to even things out. Will he be able to siege those tanks? He's right in between the troops, and he manages to take full advantage of that. Siege tanks are taking out the opposing tanks while they're still stuck on the low ground and not sieged. Lighthood really ripping things apart. However, he does not have any medevacs available to heal these poor Marines. Ooh, one siege... yeah, just... okay. Siege tank does go down, but sure took a lot of Marines with it. Double siege tank here with a couple of Marines still protecting. And once again, we have both the Terrans having to resort to pull in the boys over and over. 26 SCVs are dead. Okay. Zooming out, my man. Here we go, the follow-up. I don't know if these guys accidentally got stimmed earlier. And there we go. These Vikings finally get what's coming to them. The Marines show them how it's done as far as ground to air goes. Over here we have a planetary fortress. If he still had some siege tanks here, he could probably do a bit more about that. But as things go, they might be better off just passing this up. Lighthood's army is a bit split up right now. Some of these guys might want to join the group again. And at this point, you know, we have we have switched from one attack, just kind of alternating between which bases are attacked, to the two of them kind of button heads in the middle. And what do we got? We got some upgrades on the way for infantry on both sides at once. And both of them trying to get their production going. Group of Marines on their way. Tastalope says hello. Now, I don't know, I think these guys are looking for expansions, honestly. Just seeing if there's something they can take out. And medevac drop coming up. Bunch of Marines are set to be, I guess, heading towards the main right now. Same time, yes, we've got... Alright, Siege Tank manages to hit a bunch of the already stimmed Marines. Once again, the boys pulling left and right. The medevac drop is just sitting here. It's going to take a few hits from the turret, but I think it's going to be alright. Oh, got to make sure to get out of range, get all those Marines out of there. Both the medevacs survive. The Marines are hitting. There's a siege tank that's going to attack anytime they get too close, but once again, he's in position to do quite a bit of damage. Might be time to retreat, though. Oh, Viking finishing off one of the medevacs. The other one boosts and lives to meditate another day. No, it doesn't. I was wrong, as always. Alright. Siege tank sitting in between the bases, ready to intercept. Both groups sitting on 3 bases at the moment. Hurting time, down in supply, although ahead in workers. Oh, this could be really bad if Hurting time gets intercepted. Oh boy, we have multiple 3 medevacs going down, one after another. Tanks are only just sieging, the Marines are already on top of them. This is ugly. So much can turn around so quickly when it comes to TVT. The DPS is always insane, and the units are always fairly glass cannon-like. And this is the point where Hurting Time might not be able to turn it around again. Siege tanks are back here, attacking the planetary fortress. We got the repair going, but there's production up here too that's also going down. 124 supply to 73. Repair is going on and on, but I mean, he does have plenty of minerals, but sooner or later the boys have to do whatever the opposite of pulling is. And apparently that is taking a secret corner expansion. Alright, a little bit of a Hail Mary here. We have a medevac on its way to hit the opponents. 4 Marines, 1 Marauder. That can potentially do some damage. Lighthood has not left a lot of defenses behind, but at the same time, look at this. Whole army getting dropped right here by the siege tanks. Not quite right on top of them, so they're still taking hits from both. Medevac over here gets dropped and starts taking out workers, but I mean, well, there's a squad of infantry here on the other side of the map. There's a whole army. And we do have enough heading home that I don't know if these guys can escape very easily. And we have the GG. Intense match there. That can just go to show you how nerve-wracking TVT can be. Sometimes dull, but always the kind of thing that's on razor's edge. Lighthood takes it. Let's take a quick look at the map picks. Next up is Gresvin. GG, man. Ooh, and I got a friend request. And we are going to have KJ Freedom join the party so that Matheson can spy on us and grace us with wisdom. Waiting, there we go. Oh, wait. Oh, Lighthood says he's got something to say. Lighthood, what's up? I can hear you. Kind of quietly, though.
Okay. It's back now.
Were you...
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Is something wrong?
Okay, I need to fix my binds.
Okay.
You
Yep.
saw the drop? The last drop? Then unload this. Same.
I am having trouble hearing you, actually.
We'll give you some time.
Yeah, I can give you a little bit of time. We can take a short break. I'm going to move you back to your chat, though.
I'll let you know.
Okay. Alright, so we're just going to take a couple minutes while Lighthood fixes up the keybinds. He was letting me know he actually recently had to reinstall Windows, so there's a lot of defaults that are off right now, at least the ones that are locally stored, which keybinds are replays, profiles, that kind of stuff. Meanwhile, let's give Hurt and Time a little bit of time to think about it. So the last match, kind of one punch after another both ways. It was interesting because Hurt and Time was definitely the one who was paying a little bit more attention to having the defenses ready, but at the same time, he ended up just getting hit too hard. Okay, we are ready to create the lobby again. And KJ, if you could join too. All right. Gressfin, one of those classic maps with a lot of little patches of low ground that siege tanks can definitely take advantage of. Alright. In the lower right, we have the Red Terran. His name is
Hurting time.
and his opponent. Up one map, the Blue Terran is called
Lighthood.
Alright, and then I guess once we're done with this, I can take a look at whatever's causing that key error of myself since the update. I'm assuming it's some sort of conflict with the observer mod that we're using. So I might have to clear out a few things. Yep. Both of them keeping good pace with each other. Refinery and barracks are down. And what is Hurtin' Time up to? Taking a look for proxies is what he's doing. And over here, well, we have Lighthood, Lighthood putting the second barracks up, and where is this rally going? We gotta follow the yellow brick road here. Alright, looks like Lighthood is planning a Reaper rush. Oh, without a doubt, yes. So although Hurtin' Time is looking for buildings that are hidden around there, it's a different kind of cheese we got coming to him. What do we got? Alright, Hurtin' Time does have a Marine out. And he's guiding the high ground, although, you know, this Reaper jump spots, they might find themselves overwhelmed quickly. Hurt Time has not scouted at all so far. So, even though he does not know for sure this is coming, he seems to have a little bit of an inkling. Hotkey settings reviewed. Thank you, Matheson. Gotta get ourselves a nice hologram of this Matheson guy, you know? What is the state of your medical emergency? Alright, here we go. Factory is going to complete, so he's going to be able to get Hellions out here. That'll help quite a bit with the defense. Right now, Light Hood can kind of hop between entrances. However, the different angles are fairly connected. Hurt Time knows all about this. Look at the command center going down right in the way of where the Reapers have to squeeze through him. Hellion gets a pretty good shot in. Grenade goes down, but only manages to backfire. This is going to be very close. Oh, no it won't. The boys, once again, are expertly pulled. Oh, once again, grenade finds nothing. 2 Reapers manage to escape, joined by a 3rd. Looks like Light Hood is pretty invested in this, although he is going to go ahead and expand, so some point soon he's going to be transitioning. He might just see if he can do a little bit more damage with these. Hellion camping itself right at that jump spot. And what do we have now? Engineering Bay on the side of Light Hood. And a Banshee coming out on the part of Hurt Time. 5 Reapers. They are going to keep that command center from that orbital from landing. Yeah, there they are. Look at that. They ain't moving. Oh, maybe they will. Woohoo! All right, the Hellion's not quite getting there to gather, but it still does the trick. Got 4 of those Reapers that went down. Hellions are able to keep pace. They have to be careful. They don't heal automatically. They have to be repaired. Here we go. Marine there to welcome everyone home. Oh! 1 Hellion goes down. He might be able to finish something off, but it might be at the expense of that Hellion. Marines joining the fun. Alright, I think the kill count is definitely on the side of Hurt Time. I think he just had the sense that he was going to get hit by something. Something a little cheesy. And he very correctly seemed to estimate that without any proxy build-ins, that would be the case. This Banshee does not have cloaks, so he's going to have to be very careful with it, with those Marines around. Does manage to take out yet another Reaper. Light Hood actually getting some upgrades going. And Hurt Time's army on its way home. A little bit of difference between supply loss, but not actually too bad. And we have Light Hood not willing to take his foot off the gas just yet. We have Cloak on the way on the part of Hurt Time. Granted, as usually a scan ready to go. Very cautiously approaching their enemy. Entrance is way over here. As I said, a lot of this map can come down to taking proper advantage of the high ground. Here come the Banshees. Oh, and look at how quickly those Marines stem in and take them out. Cloak still only about 3/4 of the way done. That is not going to be as effective once it comes out. Ooh, that's a lot of DPS for those SCVs to deal with. An intended Hellion drop gets brought back for defense. There's going to be a lot of carnage going down here. Here we go. Hellions managed to get some good work done too, so once again, a big clash, and then working their way back. They're not ready to go home yet, though, and we do have some medevacs that are going to be joining them. And here, this Hellion is just taking a little peek out, seeing what they might be dealing with, and then we are back to, I guess, the intended Hellion drop before. He might have to turn it right around again, though. What do we have? We do have a armory on the side of Hurtin' Time, so we will be able to turn them into Hellbats should he choose. He's going to have to be careful there. He's got the Raven ready to go, but he's going to have to react very quickly when these guys move forward. Meanwhile, I think we've got a good number of turrets here. Okay, Hellion's not exactly able to get dropped right in the mineral line, but Lighthood's attention divided. He is able to get them into the workers. However, we have a lot more damage going on here. Didn't see exactly what happened, but the Hellions did go down, and Lighthood takes this. Alright, Lighthood, congratulations. We got the 2-0 there. Definitely both matches very much balanced on Razor's edge there. You both managed to do quite a bit of damage both times, both got some offense in. In the end, Lighthood, you won the Battle of Attrition the first game, and second game, you were able to just kind of get in. After the Reapers didn't get a lot done, you were still able to just get the damage done later on. How you feeling? Okay, you're coming through very quietly. Here, I'm gonna turn your volume up, see if that helps. How about now?
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. My bad. Sorry. Maybe. Okay. So, I think it was a fun game, actually.
Yeah.
I think I did my best. Reapers was so, I don't know, I messed it up with the control, I think. But I managed to keep up with when he pushed me. I thought it's game over.
Yeah, well...
But he retreated. He should have gone for the worker with that Hellion.
It was a little tricky because those turrets managed to keep him from dropping right on top of your workers, and I gotta say, both times there were moments where the two of you had to divide your attention between attacking and defending. You both had times where some of the army was out destroying enemy workers and couldn't be there to defend back home. Hurtin' Time, second game, you definitely seemed to have a hint that that you seemed to smell a little bit of cheese in the air, let's put it that way. I noticed that you were looking around, seeing if there were any proxies, and even when there weren't, you seemed like you had Reapers in the back of your mind. You were making sure to protect the jump points and everything.
Yeah, well, I check around for proxies every game because
Okay.
I've been bitten by it so many times.
Yep.
Yeah, I was a little greedy the second game. I thought I played it okay. Just I'm having a lot of trouble when there's a lot of micro early, like hotkeying my buildings and stuff. That was really bad in game one. I was better about it in game two, but that's why I'm falling behind on just like I'm not spending because I'm making my buildings, but
yep.
yeah,
You
I'm just not
had less
hacking.
unit, as I saw. I don't know, less unit. You should have
Well,
got more than that.
I think both those Lighthood managed to expand take the natural quite a bit earlier than you, especially the first game. So that's one of those things, and that's the delicate balance as far as it comes to the early game, making sure you get enough income coming in without.
Oh, I got caught too.
yeah.
I got caught a bunch of times too. Like when he attacked me in that second game, I had just sent my dropship away with my Hellions, and in the first game, a couple of my move outs, I wasn't paying attention, and my units all got killed and stuff too. So
So much of
Especially the
Terran
two
is.
Banshees, they should have gone for more damage.
Yeah.
But I caught him like in the middle of the map.
Yeah, so much of
It's
Terran is
kinda hurt.
knowing where the enemy army is, knowing where to position yours. Hurt and Tom, I gotta say, I was really impressed by your air harass in the first game. Those landed Vikings, those automated
It
turrets.
was annoying. I'm not gonna lie.
It annoyed me, and I wasn't playing. Yes, it was. lot of people don't make such full use of Vikings, and that spot where
I
you
think it's a great idea.
yeah
Should
you
keep
blocked
it
that
up and
orbital
make
from
it
landing
better.
with one Viking while attacking it with the other. That was chef's kiss. I gotta say.
thanks. It just wasn't enough.
My orbital was like 1 HP. You didn't blow
It's-
it up.
Yeah, it
Blew
was
up.
a moral victory, though. Take it from me. So yeah, still early in the season. We still got plenty of time for everyone to adjust. Those were both really fun matches to commentate. I was out of breath for a bit of that
thank you.
because there was so much going on both sides of the map almost all the time. So yeah, both of you take
an
some
active
well-earned
map.
rest. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be taking a little look at the patch notes or proposed patch notes. And if
Okay.
either of you want to stick around and look with me, you're welcome to as well.
I don't know. Maybe I will stay for some
Yeah.
time.
Maybe some other night, yeah. All right. Well, both of you have a good one, and we will see you
All right,
soon.
thank you.
And thank you, Hurt in Time, for adjusting and doing your match tonight.
Hey,
Sure,
thank you
thank
for
you.
that one time.
All right, thank you.
for your time.
GGs.
GG's, you did well, bro. Thank you.
Alrighty. Where are we at right now? So, yeah, we already took a little peek at the recent artwork that was added. Let me bring that up again, actually. Yeah, so if you log into StarCraft 2 right now, not only will you get some lovely hot fixes that fix some things like shield damage not showing up on the units or destructible rocks not calculating with the right size, stuff like that, and of course the thermal lance upgrade for the Colossus giving too much range. But we also have it's very interesting because Oliveira is misspelled in the actual name of the portrait, but not the description of it. So, you know, here's hoping. But yeah, wonderful little design by Nicholas Dessois. It's very interesting the way things go now. You know, no more paid content for StarCraft 2. Classic Games is handling maintenance. They're implementing stuff from others, but not really designing anything themselves. They're not really RTS people, whoever they are. But yeah, we have ESL commissioning Nicholas Dessois to make portraits of the world champions each year. I believe he also did portraits of the Gamers 8 Legends tournament competitors for both Brood War and StarCraft 2. We have Team Liquid, which has been holding these Team Liquid map contests with the help of ESL, and a really strong map-making community doing some wonderful work, at least with the 1v1 maps. They say that they are looking into something that they can do about maybe rotating the team maps, but you know, the ESL people, they don't deal a lot in team maps. There's no team league over there like there is for our lovely FSL league here. But they're going to be taking some advice from some of the community members, looking into possibly, if not adding new maps, then at least rotating them around a bit, putting in some older Legacy of the Void maps, which is what was done last time. They took two previous maps from for 2v2, 3v3, and 4v4. Actually, 2v2, one of those maps was from a Team Liquid map contest and hadn't been on ladder before, but it was available in custom games. That was Reclamation. So there's that, and then you have the balance console. So all these professional players, tournament organizers, content creators, according to Hearthstone, there's somewhere between 50 and 60 of them, are kind of communicating in a forum, throwing ideas around, letting people know what they think of some of the proposals, and then I guess everyone trying to narrow things down into a balance patch for classic games to then implement. And the stuff posted on the link is on the StarCraft subreddit. But what we have here, we have the potential 5.0.12 balance update test mod. And so there is not a public test realm, a PTR, just yet. This stuff isn't through Blizzard. ESL's handling this, and this is written on behalf of Alex007. If you don't know him, he got put in charge of the StarCraft 2 portion of the ESL Pro Tour last year. And here, actually, let me... don't have a picture of him up right here, but what I do have is... I do have his announcer pack, actually. So, announcers...
Все готово к ядерному удару. Рабов убивают. Не забудь потом построить новых. Supply блок. Посматривай в правый верхний угол.
I caught supply block.
Союзника атакуют. Хорошо, что не тебя.
So yeah, he's been a very big part of the StarCraft 2 community for a very long time. I don't know what we're going to be doing after this. I might actually just be hanging out with my family a little bit. There's a pretty nasty heat wave here in Minnesota, and yes, we do get those too. If anyone jumps in and says they're interested, we'd be happy to do some show matches. Otherwise, I might just be watching some My Little Pony Friendship is Magic with my daughter. So, back to it. Alright, and dark mode is available. So they added a few other things. In Reddit there was a big disclaimer that this isn't official yet. It hasn't gone through Blizzard yet. But apparently they have been given a little bit more flexibility to talk about this stuff with the StarCraft 2 community. And yes, indeed. So Alex007 posted about this on Reddit, and this will hopefully provide for more transparency, so that we can hear about where things are at with balance and the map pools when it's not already time to update to a public test realm. So yeah, they want to make Protoss more stable. I think everyone can raise a glass to that. Early game and also against Raven pushes, and able to fight mid-game Terran without relying solely on disruptors. Increase variety in mid-game and late-game compositions. Try to maybe cut back a little bit on ghosts, banelings, and disruptors. Try to make a few of the units more viable throughout the game, like Cyclones, Motherships, and Infestors. Bit more visual clarity, that's always a good thing. Particularly Widow Mines and Disruptors. And then a little bit more powered late-game units or flexibility for them. Tempests, Motherships, Broodlords, the capital ships. So, just wanted to go through these. Cyclone, reduced cost. This one's kind of more of a full-on redesign. No tech lab requirements, so that means you can make 2 of them at a time if you have a reactor. Reduced health. Reduced armor, less supply cost. They're going to have a new auto attack range, a little bit higher, so this is their normal attack. The lock-on also kind of does the same damage as their normal attack would be, and it is affected by armor. Auto attack and attack speed, yeah, now 11. And little bonus against armored. No cooldown for lock-on, so they can just basically shift focus on what they're doing the lock-on against. No longer delayed. The lock-on cast range, a little bit shorter. Max range, way shorter. More than one Cyclone can auto-cast a lock-on on the same target. That's something they were set not to do before. The mag field accelerator upgrade is removed, and instead there's going to be a move speed upgrade. And that's going to be, and the normal movement speed is going to be a little bit slower. I know that over at the StarCraft lore Discord, Subsorian was actually reaching out and saying, hey, if you need any help coming up with cool names for these upgrades, let me know. Because things are very alive and well there. Redesign of the Cyclone to make it into a more all-around unit in all matchups aims to increase the viability of mech-based gameplay against Protoss, while promoting more active engagements with mech-based armies. Cyclone still will not auto-cast lock-on buildings unless it's the basic attack and no other enemies are nearby. There is a test mod for this, by the way. I actually favorited it. So it is called Community Balance Patch August 2023. The new maps are also available if you search for them in the custom melee section. So Cyclones are an interesting one because they've had full redesigns before, you know. There was the whole thing where it was all about lockdown or lock-on. And then for a while they kind of shifted that, so that was strictly an anti-air ability, and they just had a really, really fast attack against ground, and then kind of switched it more back to where it was. They're an interesting one. They can basically keep distance going, but it's going to be interesting to see where these fit into battle mech. I think the idea is just to kind of make them applicable for more of the game. Ghost, the snipe damage is being reduced, although not against psionic targets. Those are spellcasting units, like Queens, Vipers especially. You know, High Templar. EMP radius reduced to, so straight up nerf here. Reducing the radius of EMP will encourage Protoss to use Psystorm in the PvT matchup. Oh yeah. Yeah, there are going to be some test mod tournaments, I know. Friday on Rotterdam stream. So is that going to be okay? Random versus random. So is that going to be before FSL that night? Help Protoss in straight-up engagements versus Terran armies. Snipe will no longer one-shot units such as Zealots and Roaches, as well as require an extra shot to kill Ultralists in the late game versus Zerg, generally reducing their cost efficiency over time, while still being able to kill important spellcasters like Vipers. Yeah, so Ghosts have been, well, a little bit problematic in late game once there are enough of them out. There's a lot of things that they can completely nullify. Widowmine, Drilling Claws. Okay, cool. Now also make the Widowmine unburrow twice as fast. I know there were a lot of people confused about this. They're talking about unburrowing, so not burrowing down in the first place, but getting out, repositioning, or trying to escape back to the medevac. Targeting line is more visible. That's a big one. Return some of the strength to active Widowmine micro in the mid-game versus Zerg that was lost after the Drilling Claws burrow speed nerf, will not significantly increase in the power Widowmine drops. Medevac, speed upgrade. This is another interesting one that they keep trying to find a decent late-game upgrade to give to Medevac. Speed upgrade replaced with Caduceus Reactor. Oh, they've already come up with a name for that one. Increases Medevac's energy regeneration rate by 100%. Once again, this is over in the Fusion Core. This does not make them heal faster. This just makes them recover energy faster, so you don't need to keep quite as many of them handy late game. Replaces the current unused Medevac upgrade with an upgrade that could be used in active game with a large Medevac count that run out of energy. Also, they're doing this on all the transports, but they're making them show up a little bit more clearly on the minimap. Previously, medevacs could appear smaller on the mini-map on large maps. So currently, the upgrade you can give them reduces how long the cooldown is between using their speed boost. I think I've seen a couple people maybe try to take advantage of that early game for a surprise, and usually not to much effect. But other than that, maybe it's something you get if you've got a fusion core and you don't have anything better to spend the money on. Raven, interference matrix now requires research. Not an expensive research, but it has to be research in the tech lab, so that means a little bit later before you can cast your first interference matrix, and you have to keep the tech lab attached if you want it. A single Raven opening can currently disable multiple key defensive units in early pushes against the Protoss. The cheap cost of the upgrade still allows for multiple Raven play in TVT and specialized builds in TVP. What I find interesting about this is one of the big things that they've been doing over all these years in StarCraft 2 is getting rid of upgrades. You know, like we saw on Friday, at one point there used to be an upgrade required to give tanks siege mode. There used to be an upgrade required to turn Hellions into Hellbats. They got rid of that. They got rid of multiple upgrades that increase how much energy a spellcaster starts with. A lot of the stuff that had to be researched before, even hallucination once had to be researched. A lot of the stuff, they just kind of shrugged their shoulders and said, how about they just start with that? This is the first time in a very long time, I don't know, maybe ever, that I've seen them actually add an upgrade gate to an existing ability. I think it's a good idea, honestly, since Interference Matrix is pretty powerful, and there's other stuff you can do with the Raven in the meantime, but it's very unique kind of change. Zerg, Lurker, Adaptive Talon, move speed bonus removed, Adaptive Talon cost reduced, and as some of the main counters of the Lurkers get nerfed, reducing the speed of repositioning Lurkers in the late game. So basically a little bit, even with the upgrades, a little bit slower to basically pop them up, move them forward, and then burrow them down again. And you notice, yeah, they nerfed ghosts, and I believe they're also nerfing disruptors, so this is kind of a necessity. And faster, hey, pathogen glands upgrade removed. That is just exactly one of those. I think that's the last holdout for the upgrades that increase how much energy a unit starts with. So instead, the Infestor will always start with 75 energy, the way they're talked about. But they're also nerfing fungal growth. They're giving it less range, and they're decreasing how much of a radius it has. Or, not radius, how much damage it does. Since the Infested Terran ability was removed, the Infestor has no utility until reaching 75 energy. Fungal damage and cast range is reduced to prevent Infestors from killing Marines with 2 consecutive Fungals, as a trade-off to the EMP radius nerf in the TVZ late game. So once again, kind of compensating one of the nerfs that they're already doing by nerfing something that a Ghost was a counter to. I like this. I like having a few Infestors out just to kind of catch air units as they're trying to escape again. Spire, air armor upgrade cost reduced. Air armor is generally considered less useful than the air weapons upgrade despite being more expensive. And I believe they're doing the same thing with the air armor for Protoss, so I don't know. We'll see what this does. We'll see whether it means more double Spire and more double Cybernetics Core. Viper, consume damage reduces the attention required for gathering Viper energy. I don't know how often people really end up accidentally killing an important building while they're consuming and repowering their Vipers. It does happen, though. And when it does happen, it's very shameful. And then, yeah, Broodlord. They're speeding it up even a little bit more. But then, this is kind of continuing what they were already doing to Broodlord. Speed it up a little bit more, also weakening the actual Broodlings, so that both how fast they move, how much health they have, and how quickly they attack. So the Broodlord does the initial damage itself, but then from where it hits, there are a couple Broodlords that pop out and start both doing a bit more of their own damage and also absorbing a lot of attack that your enemy ends up not being able to turn on other units. Continuing in the direction of the last balance update, further increasing Broodlord mobility while further reducing the strength of Broodlings to compensate. Should allow for more active play in the late game. And yeah, Broodlands, yeah, they used to move really slow. They're still kind of slow. Overlord's deceleration speed increased. And generate creep delay reduced. So basically, they get to accelerate from a stopped position a little bit faster and generate, a little bit faster after they move. While they're moving, they stop, splash, and creep down. And once they stop, then they start doing creep again. So I guess this is actually a deceleration speed upgrade, buff. You don't see that often, but I guess with Overlord, if they're dropping creep, it makes sense they should be able to, slam on the brakes a little bit faster. Reduces the amount of time it takes for Overlords to stop and begin dropping creep to allow for more active usage of Queen Drops. Queen Drops, everyone loves those, but hey. And yeah, there's the transport thing. Oh, actually in this one, when you turn an Overlord into, when you give the individual Overlord the little evolution where it gets the ability to transport, it speeds it up a little bit all by itself, and then even more if you get the pneumatized Carapace upgrade. Allow for more active drop usage, and combination with the Baneling damage nerf should not increase the overall strength of Baneling harass against Protoss. Ultralisk. Cost reduction by a little bit more. And by a little bit, I mean just 25 minerals lost, but hey. And it actually burrows and unburrows faster. I've said before, it's been interesting how much more popular taking advantage of burrow has gotten in the late game, since you might as well buy it. Lurkers and Broodlords are generally favored over Ultralisks in the late game, as Ultralisks have poor cost efficiency over time, should make them more used throughout long games, while not greatly reducing the initial investment. And then this is on top of that Ghost nerf for steady shot. Hydralisk, speed and range upgrades combined, so just one upgrade, so you don't have to queue them up or remember to do the second. Increases the speed at which Hydras come into the mid-game for more quickly responding to enemy air switches, such as Mutalisks, and to supplement weaker Banelings against ground-based armies. As Zerg, yeah, with this and the Infestor thing, if you get caught off guard by air harass, you can really be in trouble. But yeah, here, strength of Hydra-based timings will be monitored versus Protoss during the testing period. And yeah, I've definitely heard quite a few people expressing concern right away on that one. Banelings, bonus damage per upgrade reduced from 2 and an additional +2 versus light to just plain 2. Centrifugal hooks cost reduced, centrifugal hooks research time reduced, and centrifugal hooks health bonus removed. So when that completes, they don't all each get 10 extra health. Will no longer one-shot probes or drones when you have +2 attack. And that's of course assuming that they don't have armor upgrades themselves. Reduce some of the strength of mass Baneling armies in the mid-game. Reduce the volatility in defending Baneling run-bys by requiring multiple Banelings to kill workers. The speed upgrade will require less of an investment to maintain a similar balance for 2 base, tank, Terran, Marine stall-ins. So that also can get them a little bit more ready to take out a lot of infantry. Forge, the shield upgrade cost reduced. Shield upgrades are less useful than attack armor upgrades for both air and ground units in different scenarios. Example, against Terran armies with ghosts. Okay, yeah, that's true. Current change helps increasing cost efficiency ratio for those shield upgrades. Shield upgrades are an interesting one. I mean, they tend to be less desirable for various reasons, but also they have the bonus of not only do they give a bonus to both ground and air units, I believe they also give a bonus to structures. Cybernetics core, yeah, air armor upgrade reduced to the same price as air weapons. Air armor is generally considered less useful than air weapons. Upgrade despite being more expensive. Warp Prism, mini-map, yeah, that mini-map radius thing, so you can see them on the mini-map better. Disruptor, supply cost increased, model scale reduced, and radius increased. Okay, that's with the actual units. this does not affect collision with buildings, so that's a little trick they were doing with the Archon before, where they reduced its radius, so that... Actually, I guess it was just the opposite. They made it so Archons could squeeze between buildings a bit more without it affecting units. But the idea is that you can see them a bit more clearly, and they're also going to be a bit less bunched up. It is currently hard to tell which disruptors have Purification Nova available when multiple are clumped together as the models intersect with each other. The goal of supply cost increase is to reduce the potential of mass disruptor armies, while still allowing Protoss players to use disruptor as a strong mid-game and late-game tool. Void Ray, this one I think is actually a bug fix. Prismatic alignment move speed with flux vanes increased. So, yeah, previously there was an issue where flux vanes decreased the move speed of Void Rays while prismatic alignment was active when it was intended to remain the same. Allows for players to actively micro Void Rays in late-game engagements without needing to cancel prismatic alignment. Prismatic alignment is when they get their big anti-armor bonus but get slowed down, and the bug was that even after giving them that Flux Vanes upgrade, the speed upgrade, it didn't actually make them the boost didn't apply to when they were doing their prismatic alignment deal. I think it actually might have even slowed them down further than it was supposed to after that, I'm not sure. But this one, yeah, more of a fix. Tempest, acceleration, deceleration, increased from, yeah. And then radius model, scale reduced. Improve the feeling of actively microing Tempest as the slow acceleration makes them feel slow to respond when not already moving. So they're increasing both the acceleration and deceleration. So not only will they start moving faster, but you can also get them to stop faster too. With air units, that's especially a big deal because they tend to glide a little bit. And Mothership. This is a full-on redesign again. So cost reduction, no longer 400, but 250, 250. Supply cost reduced, build time reduced, speed increased. Lateral acceleration increased. That's how fast the unit changes direction while moving. Increasing this will make the Mothership no longer lag behind other army units of similar speed. Okay. Good to know. There's a lot of these statistics you only really learn if you go really deep in the editor. So, yeah, and it goes on to health and shields reduced. The size reduced a bit, just like the Tempest. No longer has energy. Spells are now cooldown based and require no energy cast. So this is like what they did with the Battlecruiser. So there's more time between when you can cast the same ability. Same time, you can't run out of energy, and you're not affected by feedback. Recall now has a 110-second cooldown. Recall radius is reduced. And you know, this is the offensive recall, so this is bringing other units to where the Mothership is. Time Warp now has 60-second cooldown. Time Warp Slow has been reduced. Time Warp Radius reduced. Time Warp Cast Delay reduced, so a little bit less time for it to take effect. Cloak Field is no longer passive. It is now an activated ability which lasts for 10 seconds with a 50-second cooldown, so kind of like the Arbiter in Phoenix's army and co-op. So, big changes. The idea being to make motherships more of a normal sight to see and make them less money that you end up throwing away as they get focused down. Reduce the investment and increase the maneuverability of the mothership and prevent it from being hard countered by EMP. Should allow for earlier mothership builds in all matchups as well as more active usage of the mothership. I know one of the things they previously changed too was they made it so hero units like the mothership, and other than that there's just things in co-op and campaign, but that hero units cannot be affected by neural parasite from infestors. Sentry, Guardian Shield duration is increased a little bit, allows Guardian Shield to be precast before engaging Terran armies involving ghosts, lasting longer in Defiance. So in other words, you know, less of having to worry about waiting to get it up until it's actually an account, but then risking having it be EMP'd before you actually activate it. Oracle Stasis Wards side increased from 4 to 7, allows Stasis Wards to be used for more central map vision with Stargate-based openings. So I guess, kind of creep tumor-ish. The idea that you'll be able to get a little bit more map vision just out of stasis words you leave around. Immortal Barrier will now also block the first instance of damage, which triggers the barrier, counts towards the 100 damage. So currently, EMP hitting an Immortal will drain all of the Immortal's shields, as well as activate the barrier, which will generally expire before the Immortal ends up receiving other damage, making the ability to lose value in the mid-game against Terrans. In other words, yeah, they're going to be better against getting hit by EMP against Ghosts. There's not going to be as much to lose. They're going to be able to keep the damage from the barrier on top of their shields. And yeah, I guess they've already been adding a little bit more details here and clarifying the wording off of some of the stuff that was on the Reddit post here. I just want to look at one more thing before I stop droning on. Just some other stuff here, yeah. Alex, Pro Tour Manager. So on top of that, we have the 7 maps. These are all ones that were entered into the most recent Team Liquid map contest. Working for a map pool proposal for team modes. There is no list to share just yet. I am guessing they're going to have to reach out to some content creators who are big on team matches or something. Please find the updates. 2 major redesigns. Those would be the Cyclone and the Mothership. Updated values for a bunch of other stuff. Are you excited about mid-game Mothership? Bringing back mech gameplay to TVPT with the Cyclone redesign and Broodlords becoming closer to Guardians. Guardians are in Brood War. Or, actually, you could say that they're also in co-op, and I guess you can fight against them in a little bit of the campaigns. But yeah, I'm gonna take a quick look at these. Not a long look, because I am not very good at map stuff here. So this is a macro map. This is Golden Aura. Very pretty. And the opposite corners are not the same. It's kind of identical down the middle, diagonally. But yeah, a lot of high ground maps. Then we have Site Delta. This one is the other macro map. Yeah, similar kind of design. Standard map, Oceanborn. I'm going to have to look up what a standard map is. I guess it's supposed to be halfway between a macro map and a rush map. But this is Oceanborn here. A lot of coral. And we have another standard map, Hecate. Purple. And the rush map, Solaris. And hard lead. And finally we have the freestyle map, in other words, the weird one, Black Lotus. This is what we have to look forward to. They're probably still touching them up a little bit, and I'm sure when they first get released there will be people finding some little issues with them here and there. Don't treat this as an official patch announcement from Blizzard. All proposed changes are coming from the community, are currently just in public testing phase, and are still subject to change. I'm very curious whether they actually will be creating a public test realm, but there we go. So yeah, I haven't really heard anything else about anyone interested in show matches tonight. So I'm going to be hanging out with my family, keeping cool, and hopefully getting a little bit of practice time in for my match against Little Reaper on Friday. Thank you very much for those who watched. enjoy FSL.